Hey everyone, it's Austin and welcome back to day 131 on my journey to 2000. I'll be playing chess on chess.com every single day until I reach the goal, so please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all of that. Let's get into it. Alright, so we're gonna start out a little bit differently today. After yesterday's games, I lost 3, won 1. I decided that I was going to heat up my dinner and come back up and keep playing while I ate and play some more last night because I felt like I wasn't playing that bad. I was just like, of course making mistakes, but I felt pretty good. So I just kept playing and I had some great games. So we're just going to review these real quick. So I had the white pieces, normal London stuff. He played this weird move, 94. I just kind of want to scurry through them pretty quickly so you can see, like, my opponents were playing some pretty strange stuff. And immediately, I had the opportunity to take the pawn. Sure, I had a feeling he was going to push, which I knew was a mistake. So I kind of let him do it. Okay, it says it's a great move, but I felt like this just gave me a lot of play, like a ton of pawn breaks, and the d5 pawn felt like a massive weakness. So I go king over here, f3, boom, +1. I'm winning a pawn here. Immediately hangs his rook, and then I push the pawn up to grab more space. Start transitioning towards the endgame. I don't want his bishop on this square or his knight on these two squares either, so it was just an added benefit, an added benefit, and enables the queen trade, and I just force him to trade off all of his pieces, and he just resigns. Chess.com said I played this bad boy like a 2300. This was probably one of my better games last night. This was a 93 cap score. Let's get into a second one. White pieces again. He goes for a mirror variation, so you guys know what I do against this. And he allowed me to take on b7, which wins me 2 pawns, not just one, because the bishop came in and grabbed the c pawn as well. And I had the opportunity to push the pawn, played a little bit more accurately, sure. But he just started, trying to mobilize his pieces and then made a mistake. This drops a pawn with check. And then it's boom, take the open file, trade everything off, rooks to the middle, push the passers. After this move, he resigned. Chess.com said I played like a 1950. Had an 85% cap score game. This was the second game in a row that I had 0 mistakes. Obviously, like, I don't want to sound conceited or anything. Like, playing a game with 0 mistakes, 0 blunders is very easy when your opponents, make mistakes. So let's go into this one. I had the black pieces. We had a normal exchange caro. And, haven't seen this in a couple hundred ELO, but obviously I'm lower than I was before, so I'm seeing some of these less accurate openings again. This is just fine for black. As you can tell by the eval, it just allows us to equalize. And now it's kind of like a better hillbilly attack for me because his bishop is dumb and my queen is already developed. So we're up a ton of tempi here ahead so far in development. And I go h6 to prevent bishop g5, so that way I can go bishop d6 without a problem. Castle, go for the minority attack against the Carlsbad pawn structure, and immediately he makes this move, which is a mistake. I jump in, putting more pressure on this pawn and putting pressure on the queen. Oops, hung the queen. Takes, resigns. So, Chess.com said I played this one like a 2500, so look out. Third game in a row, no mistakes. So here's the fourth game. This is the final game, so don't worry. I had the black pieces again. It was another caro. It was another exchange, and it was looking really similar to last game, but then he took. So now I play normal caro con developing moves. Yeah, you could argue that this wasn't super accurate, but I like doing this because the queen is kind of misplaced on f3 in my opinion. So now I can just defend against the pin. Like, these are inaccuracies, but it just allows for such simple play. Like, if you leave that, not if you, whenever I leave my bishop, or my knight pinned by that bishop, I usually end up like really struggling with what to do with it later in the game after I want to use my dark square bishop for something else and I want to activate my knight somewhere else. I'm like kind of stuck. So I just traded it. This is minus 0.5 and here I just wanted to step out any of this stuff and that was really the only reason. It was definitely kind of a short-sighted move because I'm stepping into this, but whatever. I wanted to play a6, so that way he didn't have the opportunity to play knight into b5 to hit my queen. But this was a miss because I could have played c5 right away. c5 was ultimately my idea anyway, like this is what you want to do in this kind of a pawn structure. But he doesn't see the square for his knight, so I kind of prepare it a little bit, and then I go c5, and this in this specific position it's a miss because the pawn was just hanging, but I didn't see a reason in allowing this and letting his rook get active, so I thought that I was breaking through here. And once I got my knight over to the king side, I take, putting tons of pressure on these pawns, queen infiltrating, beautiful move. And then he blunders because this check is a fork and picks up the rook. And then I take, and kudos to my opponent for continuing to play here, because a lot of my, actually sorry, no, he resigned here. That was not meant to be BM at all. I literally thought that he continued playing, but he resigned here. And I mean, in my opinion, you should never resign there, never in a position against me at least, you know, because we all know that I can screw that stuff up pretty good. So this was a game where I had no mistakes again, but I had two misses. I had an 87 cap score. Trustcom said I played like a 2100. And you know, he made no real mistakes until the very end. You could say that there were definitely some inaccuracies for him. Okay, Trustcom called this a mistake, but I think that's kind of hard to see. He called this, they called this a mistake. I would say that, like, on a human level, I don't really feel like my opponent made any mistakes until allowing this check. Okay, so that was, I went on a 4-game winning streak after yesterday's 3-loss, 1-win, so I'm actually back up above 1700. And I didn't want to play any more games last night, so that way I could come on and tell you that I'm back above 1700, and you guys can get to see if I stay here or not. So, now, with all that being said, let's get into today's game. I'm going to play a 10-minute game today because I'm short for time. So, we're in. Alright, we have a d4, d5 game. Don't know if I've played against an opening like this before. It looks like he might try to double fianchetto his bishop. Yeah, his bishops. Okay, so I think that this is pretty normal to go here and just kind of, yeah, just do some normal stuff. Okay. I mean, I'm assuming that he's trying to go here. I don't think I really care, though. I kind of like my bishop on this diagonal because a lot of times in games like this, I'll find that they'll want to go f4, and the bishop on this diagonal obviously prevents f4. Wow. No clue what that move does. Rook to the semi-open file. That move blocks his bishop. Gives me access to potentially this square. So, we haven't spent much time. I don't think there's really a reason to spend too much time. He's not making any threats. Let's continue to develop the pieces. Maybe he was planning to get his knight out, so then that way his queen would support the e4 push or something like that. Kind of hard to say. Okay, I definitely like that move, but I think this forces a trade. And it trades off my bad bishop. You could argue it's my good bishop because it's his kingside fianchetto. Not seeing any tactics here. If I go here, I don't really feel like that does much for me because this bishop really hems that pawn into the position. I like the look of this move. So we're going to play this. And now I think this makes this pawn pretty weak. So we're going to make a move on that pawn. Where should our queen go? Got to double our rooks. So we've got to get our queen kind of out of the way here. There's also this idea. No, I don't really like that idea. I like my bishop kind of where it is. Put the queen on a dark square. Pretty normal moves so far. Not too far behind on the clock, which was my big goal for playing 10-minute games. I don't really ever want to get more than, I don't know, say a minute and a half behind on the clock, because we've seen how that just like completely punishes me. So this move doesn't really do anything. As a matter of fact, it kind of helps me get my knight into the game. If he goes here, then that'll be a problem. Okay. I mean, I don't necessarily have to do anything though. Takes. If he plays bishop takes. I just go here. Yeah, I kind of like takes. Well, no, this is a fork too. Oh wow, am I just busted? Maybe. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. Interesting. Okay, hold up. Takes push. Here takes push. Here. No, this is very interesting. I definitely think that taking here is the, or sorry, I think taking here is the better move. So let's do that. I mean, I'm definitely dropping a piece. So that sucks, obviously, but... Yeah. Probably played this move too fast. Yeah, 9 seconds. Yeah, I mean, you guys will always see that, like, my biggest mistakes come from when I play moves fast that I think are safe, and then they turn out to really not be safe. Yeah, so I think here, and if takes here, here takes, I mean, the queen is actually trapped in that position. No, here, and then takes, and then queen takes, knight's hanging. So I kind of like this. If rook over to here, I think I can just move my knight out of the way. And I'll feel, okay, so I really like the look of this move. Not immediately seeing a problem with it. So let's go with this. Trying to be resourceful here. Alright, sorry. I always forget to set Discord before I start recording. Okay. So this move doesn't make sense to me. Takes. Queen takes. So definitely not that. As a matter of fact, like anything but that. So I think this move is pretty normal. Can also just take. This is probably way better. No reason to give up a pawn for nothing. So he has a piece. Yeah, that's a strange one. Let's go here first. I don't think that move's very good because I actually think it's just taking a square away from his knight. Surprisingly enough. Okay. So let's just think for a second here and not rush this, because this is actually a very challenging endgame. This, I feel like, is kind of screaming to be played. If here, what does he play? Here, here. That actually seems pretty good. So I wonder if I should just bring my king. Here, here. Here takes here. Might be too soon to bring the king, though. Okay, we don't have much time. Before I move this rook, this pawn has to get activated. Okay. Let's go here now. Defending things. Defending things is good. Bring the king. Don't know if I love that move from my opponent. Got a pretty active king here. Knight here might actually be really good. I didn't even consider this move. Here, takes is actually probably fantastic for me because I just have this passer. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely like that move. I want to go here so I can bring my king in. Not exactly sure what that move does. But I think I want to go here to put my pawns on the opposite complex of that bishop. And then I want to go here. Just kind of charting a course here. Okay. I definitely like that move. I'm not sure how good it is, though. I think the problem becomes that I don't really have a good way in. Isn't that becoming the problem? If I go here and try to gobble pawns, it might be busted. Here, takes here, 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 here. He's definitely winning some pawns. He actually can't move his king off, or his rook off the back rank. So I'm actually just bugging. I think I want to try to go here and... Oh, wow, that was a terrible move. That was actually such a mistake. I don't know what I'm talking about. I was thinking about trying to go here, and if he takes, then I have an easier time with my pawns. But that's actually a terrible idea, because if he takes, he just makes a passer. Yeah, so I like kind of have to go here now. And even then, I really screwed up. Like, he can just push. Okay, I definitely think that that was a massive mistake by my opponent. Okay. So this move is obviously pretty straightforward. Not seeing any immediate problems with it. Okay. Let's just get his bishop off this diagonal. Okay, we have a minute. This move is actually disgusting. Okay. Actually threatening checkmate here. Let's just hope he doesn't see it. If not, the check is actually probably going to be really good anyway. It's definitely not the simplest endgame to have a limited amount of time for. Yeah, I'm just kind of freaking out about my time. This just wins a piece, so that's what I'm... Well, actually, does that force checkmate? That forces checkmate. I can tell you that much. I couldn't play that fast enough. All right. Weird game. So I had 6 inaccuracies, 4 mistakes, 5 misses. He had 4 mistakes, 2 misses, 2 blunders. So definitely just like not a clean game at all. I had a 74, he had a 66. So again, just like a weird opening. Obviously I'm already equal here, so this is a mistake. Fair enough. This is a blunder. Oh, it hangs the pawn. You guys are probably screaming at me. I mean, like, I just never expect my opponents to do stuff like that. So this is a mistake, but I thought it was good for me. Oh wow. Oh wow. Wait, what is it? What is the move after this? I'm not looking at the eval, I just don't... Okay, this probably? Yeah, this is... Okay, but this is just equal. No, I missed something. This is the best move. King takes. No, g4 check, but now it's saying equal. Over on the side, it's saying like minus 0.6. But it's... Yeah, that's kind of a weird thing to go for, but anyway, I didn't see that. I think even in this position, I said I don't see tactics. It was in this position, I said I don't see tactics. But regardless. Wow, so I played the best... Oh, nope, sorry. This is the best move now. Rook c1. Sorry, that's not c1. Here. Takes. Double attack. So I had the right idea here. So this... Okay. So this is where I have a problem. Like, you guys have seen this if you're veterans of the channel. Like, Chess.com is saying this is a miss. So this is the difference between -2 and -3.8. I would just call this an inaccuracy. I'm just saying, like, that's not... It doesn't throw the game. It's not like it was equal and I lost my chance to win. I'm literally just still holding an advantage. But regardless, okay, so this is just a full-blown miss. Okay, obviously, okay, this makes sense. Why this is a miss, and this is silly of me, I know better than this. A little learning moment for you guys. What's better to take? An exchange, aka a rook for my bishop, or a knight, completely for free? The answer is the knight, because if you do the math, 3 minus 0, 3, 5 minus 3 is 2. So it's a difference of 1 point of material, so taking this would have been best. This looks a little bit tricky. Just queen c3, it says. Yeah, really putting pressure on that pawn. F takes. It wants to keep it as an umbrella, wants rook d8. Regardless. So, I didn't play, this was my other miss, so my bad. So now it's all the way down to -1. Okay, fair enough. Let's call that a miss for sure. Totally agree with that. Now it's -1.7 again. Here, oh, he can't take because here. It's the same idea. So, this is another miss. Again, this one I don't really agree with because they both do the same thing. And obviously I'm just playing this on the next move. So it's a difference of -1.7 and -0.9. So a difference of 0.8. Like let's call it an inaccuracy. It liked e5 right away here. And now it didn't like e5. And now king f6 is a mistake. Knight back is a good move. Doubling the rooks was good. This was a mistake. Because he can go knight back. I mean... Bishop a4. King e5. Knight e3. Yeah, I mean just f4. What am I? G takes, king takes, knight d5 check. Gets forked. But obviously, like the pawns are rolling here. King d2? Are you for real? Rook c8. Yeah, I like c7 more, but okay, whatever. King e1. I mean, just push the pawns, no? f5. Yeah, I mean, so I made a mistake by allowing knight f1, even though knight f1 is a completely crushing position for me. So, that's kind of how I feel about this move too. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just very complex or something, but I really have a hard time seeing how those moves are mistakes. Yeah, this saying this is a good move, I don't agree with that. Mistake. Yeah. Yeah, so I was missing the rook in idea. Oops, sorry, but when I did find it, it was good. And then he helps me out here. This is the best move. Have to give up all your pieces. Yeah, it's literally like giving up all your pieces. That's weird. The engine line here wants you to play this instead. That's a pretty funny checkmate. So, you know, what can we learn from this? We can learn that playing this way with white isn't great. This is a categorical mistake. It's just a fundamental misunderstanding of the position. So like, would it have been better if in this position I go out right away and let's say he develops all the same way? Is c4 a mistake here, or c5? No. So, you know, it was really because he had fianchettoed this bishop and gotten this. I think if I had, you know, obviously there's no way for me to know that he's going to do this early in the game. But it would make more sense for me to just play knight f6. Like, in general, with openings, you want to play the most flexible moves, right? you know that your knight is going to f6 in this type of a pawn structure, in this type of a position, off the bat. So you don't need to really think about it too much. And then if he starts doing this, then it's like, okay, you know, yeah, c5 is already the second best engine move. So c6 was a bit of a rush. Like, I rushed it, I mean. But I think I had the right idea opening the C file. Yeah, I mean, I just didn't see a hanging pawn. This is a mistake because H5 is obviously leaps and bounds better. A4, A6, C4, probably just knight takes. Knight takes, rook takes. This is already -2.5 for us, so we're vibing. So I guess I forced the issue and I didn't let him implode first. So this is a weird tactic to me because here, King G1 is the best. Why would that ever be the best move? If you go forward, I'm guessing you're just getting mated. Yeah, King G5, and you're just getting spit roasted here. King G1, best move. I mean, I even feel like, would this not be a better move? I mean, knight takes E3, I'm hitting these two things. I mean, this looks a lot better than this, and you're dropping the knight, but the computer says it's better, so whatever. None of that happened. I just took the dark square bishop because admittedly that's kind of short-sighted, but I felt like the dark square bishop was kind of holding this queenside pawn structure together. So I kind of liked my calculation here. I'm really happy that I found this idea. Yeah, I'm really happy that I found that idea. And then I was able to convert pretty well. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Like, if you think King F6 and King E5, or sorry, E4 were mistakes. Because I don't think his knight going back is a good reason for somebody to tell me that moving my king towards the center of the board is a bad move in an endgame when I literally have a pass pawn. And then seeing that his king was restricted, exploiting it, not rushing with anything here, I think is definitely a good thing to take away. Like, I can just leave this here, and his knight's out of the game now, and that knight was kind of the chief defender of the passer. Especially with this idea coupled with it, there's nothing to defend the second rank right now. This was probably a decent try. No, because you just give this check. But anyway, it was a short game, 10-minute game, but I think there was a lot to learn from it because of the mistakes the opponent and I made. So yeah, that makes 6 wins in a row. So we take those. We're at 17-13 to end today. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.